Okay, got on manual focus. And we're going to zoom in here and focus it in on that sun. Now I got a UV lens on this too, so it's going to react to it.
See how the blinding light of the sun lights up all the clouds that are in front of it? And it's so bright, it just blinds you. You cannot see the silhouette of the sun. That's because of the brightness of the sun, and these less dense clouds do not act like a filter. They actually blind you. So the light will blind you from the sun.
Yeah. Look at there with another lens over it. I can even cut more of the light. So I'm going to try the compensation exposure on the camera setting. Okay, it's hard to cut that light. See how the UV lens causes a double sun? So other things can cause that double sun too. And it's probably because I got the UV lens on there on top of it, or the polarized lens. So
When adding my polarized sunglasses over in front of the camera, you can obviously see that it cuts even more of the light down, and then you start seeing the silhouette of the sun. And that's my purpose, to show that these clouds are all in front of the sun. None of these clouds.
yeah, see how that double sun comes out? Look at that. It's like an extra lens flare, doubling the sun. And you know, you never know when somebody might fool you by doing this and not even tell you that they're doing it. And then you get this false appearance. And look at them clouds moving away and lighting that area up again as them clouds move away from it and unfiltering it. And this was why I was trying to catch it filtered out by the clouds and not so much out by the polarizer. As you can see as I zoom back, the polarized lens doesn't even darken it up enough. Well, let's try manual focus. And there you go. You can actually see how small the sun actually is. And let's see if I can focus it in here. It's kind of hard to focus when you're using a pair of sunglasses to block the light. See, I'm not focusing it in very well. And look at that secondary sun. Isn't that wild? And look at that, there we go. It got into enough clouds there to block it.
Now you can see that these clouds actually act like a very good filter. to filter out that light and allow you to see the silhouette of the sun. So again, I bring my observations forward as proof. But some of these people that are, um, putting this forward are also claiming that clouds in front of the sun or behind the sun is actually proof that we live in a simulation. That's a bunch of BS. Bunch of BS. And anybody that believes that should take a look at my videos, because I actually zoom in and out and show you the different appearance. Actually, it's the different densities of the clouds that I'm showing.
Like I said, I got a polarizer on here too that might, give us an illusion. Like, another sun. And that's why I try to keep polarizers and UV lens off, because they distort the object.
These secondary lenses can cause an illusion, and that's what I'm also showing too in this video, how an illusion can be created and then sold to you as being true. Bullcrap.
Now, with my polarizers on my glasses, I can see it. Let me set it over here real quick just to see what happens. Okay, now it's too dark, my polarizer, so it won't allow you to see it. This is what I like doing. I observe the sun an awful lot, and I do try to catch it in different positions and different areas and different filters of the sun, or the clouds are filtering out the sunlight. And you can obviously see that. Now what I can do is try to turn down the light a little bit more and see if I can get I don't know if I turned down the compensation. Let me check. Let's let it run for a while. I was wanting to do a time lapse on it, but I don't know if it'd work out very well. I'd have to zoom out to a certain distance, and I don't know if I'd even see it at that distance. I could do a 10-minute time lapse, for like 5 minutes to see if it moves off the screen, or if it doesn't. But you can obviously see the difference in the light when I, pull back on it. You don't quite make out the silhouette of the sun. I'm just going to try to do a video here where I follow it and behind these clouds. And I may lose it due to the fact that there might be darker clouds that go over it and block it out completely for me. And obviously see my camera is pointed west, and these clouds are moving north. And there could be some clouds moving the other direction too. And it might even rain on me here a little bit. I am underneath some trees, so I hope I don't get no water droplets on my lens. Darker, less dense. Here comes some less dense clouds. Gonna allow me to see it. And I have the same thing here today. There is some bugs flying around me. I see dust kind of floating in the air. But I shouldn't get that reflective look off the sun, or the refraction off of the bugs from the light of the sun. Or well, maybe I could, because there is light out in the area. Zoom back here. Let me show you how it still has got those that area lit up. It almost looks like a teardrop up there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Let's see, there. Kind of looked like a teardrop in a sense for a minute there. And now it don't. Won't take long for it to change. I totally lost it, so I'm gonna have to wait a little bit. See if some thinner clouds will roll in. It's hard to tell where it's at right now. That's not it. That's not it either. That's just a refraction of the light.
Yeah, sometimes when you're viewing it and you're looking at this little viewing screen that the P900 has, sometimes you can't see it, and that makes it hard too. You're looking up, you're seeing a lot of the reflective light coming off the clouds that are actually outside of my viewing range right now. But it is light outside. All these clouds are not blocking out the sunlight because it's all being reflected and refracted off the other clouds in the sky. And that's why, even though the sun's under all these clouds, it's still light out. And it's obvious it's still light out. You know, you sometimes look around, and you see it's light. Now, I've been out during some major thunderstorms, and it gets pretty dark, but it's still light. Um, as long as the sun's out, you can tell it's still daytime. It doesn't. I don't think I've ever seen it get so dark it looks like it's nighttime. Due to a storm coming, rolling in. But zoomed in on it like this, of course, these clouds are making it look very dark. But when I look around my yard and everything, everything's still lit up by the sun. And the density of these clouds will let light through in all different areas. And that's why it ain't totally blocking out all the sunlight. And that's just common sense stuff. These guys that are claiming that, clouds going behind the sun is proof positive of us living in a simulation is a bunch of garbage, living in a simulation, Christ, drop something on your toe and it smashes your toe. You feel it hurt? It's not a simulation. This is reality, people. And these guys that make these claims, I don't know where they're getting their claims from or how they're even thinking. But, you can't buy that stuff, people. If you buy it, it's crazy. Now here I'm taking my lens off, I believe, and giving you a full view without a UV lens on or a polarizer. So, I do these tests with the polarizer lenses and whatnot on there to see the difference. Also, zooming in, zooming out, giving you a different view of it is always nice. And I'm going to do another sunset video and kind of explain about how the sunlight works too when it's in the horizon. Because when it's in the horizon, it's not really so much the clouds that block it out, which the clouds do block it out, but it's also the atmosphere. Looking through 100 miles of atmosphere is what actually blocks out a lot of the light to where you can actually see the silhouette of the sun on the horizon. But the clouds will go in front of it, and even some of them will appear to be going behind the sun, but depending on how far in you zoom, how far you zoom out, that light changes. And that's what I'll be showing too when I do my sunset videos and explain how that light is bright, but it will shine right through all of those, all the atmosphere, and just cause it to be a big bright white light, and you'll see the silhouette, but it will still block out clouds or bleed right through the clouds and give the illusion that the clouds are going behind it. And it's just an illusion.
I mean, just with my naked eyes, I can tell you that the sun's right in that general area. Okay? These clouds are moving very, very slow. I might even go out to the water's edge and film this later tonight. So I want to save some batteries. So actually, I'm going to go in and I'm going to shut this off, go in and charge my camera. Jeez, I'm telling you, these bugs are something fierce out here too. I mean, just in my own backyard. They're annoying. I got 3 minutes left on this. I was hoping it'd pop out again somewhere here. You can see a little piece of blue sky opening up right there in that one spot. Here, let me zoom in on it. It's kind of where some thin clouds are blocking out the blue sky. You can make out faces in almost anything if you got a good imagination.
Now, I don't even know if that's actually where the sun is. It could be just where the reflection or the refraction of light is actually bleeding through these clouds in this particular area. Why? Because the sun is so bright. It's got clouds lit up all over the place, but you don't actually see the silhouette of the sun, so you can't tell exactly where its location is. Now, through this video and zoom in and out, you'll start noticing, the light bleeding through in all kinds of different areas. Okay, so just for your own personal advantage and not believing in what you see on all these videos that people put out, as far as what I call disinformation, go out and test it yourself. I mean, because personally, I can stand there and look up and see that these clouds are definitely really close to me, and the sun is definitely much farther away, but it's not the 93 million miles. I definitely don't agree with that because one of the things is who measured it? I mean, who really measured it? Actually measured it? Nobody did. So that's a bunch of farce. But if you want, what you need to do is go out and do your own observations and believe what you get. Don't believe what other people are telling you, and also take into consideration the density of these clouds and how these less dense clouds react with the light of the sun. You get the thicker clouds, they'll block it out, filter it out to where you see the silhouette. But I tell people to do your own experiments, do your own observations, and then you'll find the truth yourself. And you'll know who to believe and not just believe any old video. So like, subscribe, and share my video.